Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing another What's It Worth video regarding the Easter event for Loomian Legacy. Now, obviously, at the time of this recording, the Easter event has actually concluded, so just bear that in mind. However, standing right behind me is going to be none other than the Gleaming FABERGE Magenta Kyeggo. Now, you see here, this bad boy was actually caught by Webpick as Epic, so major shoutouts to you. Here's actually your socials, so go check him out. Or on the subject, this is standing at the same odds as the other two FABERGE colors, standing at a whopping 1 in 12,800 chance to find in the wild. As of now, Magenta has become the more common of the three, so it's demanded to be at roughly the same as the other two. However, just bear in mind that it's going to be slightly less just because of the fact that it's more common, so it's not going to make a crazy difference. However, we're going to be looking at values roughly around 8 GR as the lowest, with the highest being around 12 to 13 GR max. With all this being said, let's get straight into the trading process. Alrighty, let's go in the chat and let's type in looking for offers on Gleaming, Magenta, Fab, Kyeggo, and boom. And now let's wait for offers. Alrighty, and our first trade request is going to be coming from Krishpala26. So let's see what Krish has to share with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Mochibi Pure Nimble from the Trick Retreat event, a Gleam Christmas Explode Pure Nimble, a Gleam Avitrons Foolish Nimble, a Takuda Pure Nimble, and it does seem like this may be Krish's final trade, but I'll quickly check in a second. Alright, and I did just ask Krish as to whether or not this is their final offer, and they did just say yes. So with this being said, is this trade worth it? Unfortunately, this trade is not worth it, even if we do sub out. In this case, all we're doing for some PvP reskins, or just for the Zulong, which is very dull, smart, clever, or for the Lashant, which is clumsy, foolish, very nimble, which is trained for PvP from the Coliseum. This is still not going to be worth it, so unfortunately this is going to have to be a major thumbs down. But this being said, let's get into our next trade. Alright, and our next trade request is going to be coming from Crown Falcon _369. So let's see what Crown has to trade with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Christmas Cradle, Clumsy Clever, Uncommon Kyeggo from the 2025 event, Clumsy Clever, a Stratosaur, Brawny Sluggish, Avantic, Very Brawny, Tender and Foolish, a Light Blue Icicle, Tender Nimble, and it does seem like this may be Crown's final trade, but we'll quickly check in a second. Before I could even ask, he did just cancel the trade, so we're just gonna base it off of what we just saw there. Is that trade worth it? Unfortunately, I think we both know the answer. Trade is not worth it. We're gonna have to give that one a major thumbs down. But with that being said, let's get into our next trade. Alrighty, and our next trade request is coming from Law in Peroxide. So let's see what Law has to trade with us today. So we sort of really great with a Gamma Ikazune Pure Nimble, and this is actually to be Law's final offer, which they did just confirm without me having to actually do any sort of check. So with this being said, is this trade worth it? This trade is an amazing trade to take. Do bear in mind that the Gamma Ikazune alone is standing around 8 GR at max, and it does have better demand overall. So with that just being said, I think it's pretty obvious. As a one-on-one, this is a great trade and an instant steal. But with this being said, let's get into our next trade. Already in our next and last trade request is going to be coming from Stacks. Just so let's see what Stacks has to trade with us today. Alrighty, we do start great with two Gamma Easter Dorogos, one being Pure Nimble and the other one as well as Pure Nimble. And Stack actually did just say in the chat, so we do have a second offer of two Gleaming Christmas Protagons, one being red Pure Nimble, one being blue Pure Nimble, two SA ones, one being red and the other one being blue, both Pure Nimble. So considering all of this, it does seem like this may be Stack's final trade, but we'll quickly check in a second. Alright, and I did just ask Stacks as whether or not this is his final offer or not, and he did just say on the phone right now, didn't see, sorry, yeah, they are. So with this being said, is this trade worth it? Well, obviously by the first trade, we're gonna have to say this is an immediate steal. You're gonna want to take this pretty great trade off the rip. Do bear in mind, each of these Gamma Easter Dorogos at their peak is gonna be around 4 to 5 GR with great demand. With that fact in mind, we're looking at 8 to 10 GR max for both of them combined. As well as for the second trade, Gleam Protagons, although they have dropped because the Christmas event, a lot were found. Do bear in mind that we're also being offered the SA ones, which actually have better demand overall since they're great for hunting. So this in mind, we're looking at roughly 4 GR bad for both of those Gleam Protagons. However, for the SA, we're looking at 2 with decent to mediocre demand for both of those, totaling us to around 8 GR that probably would serve us better purpose in the long run. However, this may be a little bit controversial depending on how you may see it. You may see 8 to 13 GR being better than a mere 8 GR, so that's just up to you. Personally, I would definitely take the Protagon trade just because of the better demand with the 2 SAs being offered in this, but that's just me. This is up to you, but personally, this is an in-between trade pushing towards a thumbs up. But with this being said, let's conclude these trades. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe, join our Discord server. While you're at it, join our Twitter giveaway regarding the Gleaming Homie Red Dakuda, which is currently ongoing until we hit 7,900 subscribers. So join that while you can. In addition to this, cop some more merch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, pineapples are vegetables. Take care, stay safe, peace.